Hello, everyone. Welcome to the DM show and happy holidays. Hi, Martin.
Hi, Deirdre. Happy holidays from me too. Honestly, I cannot believe that we are this close to the
Ugh,
end of 2024.
where did the year go?
Where do all the years go, really, for that
As
matter?
you get older, I think the years go more quickly. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
they sure do. And this one has been kind of a whirlwind, which is what we're going to hopefully talk about with a show and maybe wrap up 2024 with a nice, colorful red bow, or at least something that isn't created by AI, and
Yes.
talk about what we're looking forward to in 2025. And for any of you who have joined us, welcome to the last show. This is an AMA, so it's going to be kind of loose and casual, and we encourage you to ask us any questions. Just post them in chat. In the meantime, let us know who you are, where you're from, and what you're excited about in 2025. Just post that in chat, and again, any of your questions. So, Deirdre, what's new with you? Any news on your courses or anything exciting that you're doing?
Well, I mentioned that I have the marketing strategy competitive intelligence course. So I'm excited about that course because there's a lot of opportunity to use AI for your competitive intelligence. And one of the things that I mentioned in my course was how when you're looking at the customer experience, you also want to be thinking about what your competitors are doing and how they're using AI to make a better experience for the customers. And you don't want to lose out. So you really have to stay up on these trends.
Yeah, that's really important. And I've watched your course. It's really good. I've posted a link to it in chat. So it should show up here soon. There seems to be a little bit of a lag between what's happening on StreamYard and what I'm seeing online. So and I want to talk about the new course that I did on using generative AI in public relations. Again, it's designed to help communications professionals um, get a handle on how to use AI beyond the low hanging content creation fruit. So, how do you use it in other strategic ways to help you and to make sure that you're reaching the audiences you're trying to reach? So, let me just add that in too.
Well, I'm excited about your course, Martin. I think it's going to help a lot of communications professionals to get more up to speed and to feel comfortable about AI because it certainly is not going away. And there's a ton to look forward to in 2025.
Oh, that's great. Oh, and you know what? Your course for some reason didn't pop up. So I'm going to just pop that up. But why don't you tell me sort of what struck you about this year?
Well, there's a lot, but while we're on the AI front, I thought it was really interesting as I dove more into the emotion, facial recognition, how advertisers can really tap into using AI so that when they're testing commercials or advertising campaigns, that you can watch how people respond, tailor your messages, target your audience. Maybe you think a certain message when you show a campaign is for one audience and people aren't reacting the way that you expect. So I'm going to keep an eye on AI and advertising. And also, and maybe you can speak to this, Martin, or anybody in the community. I also think AI in search is interesting. And that's just an
Yeah,
area that is growing.
it is. And you know, it's funny. I've been reading a lot about AI in search. And right now we're in that kind of nebulous area where people have ideas about how to get
Mhm.
noticed, how to do what some people are calling AIO, AI optimization, as opposed to
Okay.
SEO.
AIO.
I,
Yes.
I've read a number of posts from Christopher S. Penn talking
Yes.
about how the more you as an organization or as an individual for that matter, are mentioned on various sites, or the more of your ideas are shared, the more of your brand information is shared, the more of your content is shared, the better chance that you'll get picked up by AI chatbots when people ask some questions. Now, what what he says is that goes back to traditional PR. Get placed in as many places as possible in a way, or digital
Right.
PR. So make sure that you guest post. Make sure that you
Mhm.
join podcasts as a guest. Make sure that you're writing thought leadership pieces. Make sure that you're posting on social. All the things that we've been doing for a
We're
long
supposed to
time.
do.
Yeah, that will help. And Andy Crestodina from Orbit Media says kind of the same thing, that the more volume of content that's out there, that means the more data there is that's
Right.
available, if it's public, available in the search engines, and all of a sudden, there you start showing up in search. Now, who knows whether that's going to be the way it is? Who knows if if there'll be a certain kind of an AI version of keyword use or key
Right.
phrases?
Well,
Probably there will be.
I think there is something I read around the traditional keywords versus getting more into the semantics, the phrases, using related words and synonyms, and also making sure that your content is clear and concise. So whether it's traditional or AI, can easily understand it. And
Yes, and
that's
high
a big part
quality.
too.
Yeah. And quality is so important because there's so
Yes.
much AI slop out there. And I think all of us as individuals, but also as companies, organizations, need to say, okay, what do we want to be known for? Do we want to be known for excellence, for creativity, for being helpful? Or do we want to be known as someone who's just like, oh yeah, I got to get 500 words out there. Here's my slop. Thank you very much.
Right. Yeah,
You
no AI
know,
flop. That should be a
so
hashtag.
yeah, no way. So maybe something that we should do is just slow down on content production. Like, think twice. Ask yourself, is this really amazing before you
Right.
publish something? And of course, that's up to you to decide. And hopefully, we all have our own quality standards. But maybe that's a way of improving, our relationships with our audiences, the way we help them, and not
Mhm.
polluting so much. Um,
Yes, and on that note, I also remember seeing it's getting to the why in your content, so it's more about the user's intent, solving their problems, and tailoring your content and having quality content is gonna help you much more with AI search.
Want to just call out Philip. Thank you, Philip, for the kind words about my course and about Deirdre's, and great to see you
Oh,
here.
thank you, Philip. I
If you
just
have
saw the
any,
comment.
yeah, if you have any thoughts or questions, just let us know about any of this. And that goes for everyone who's watching today. Just post your questions in the comments if you have an idea, something you want to share, that would be great. So something else I'm kind of watching with excitement and a little bit of fear is the whole idea of AI agents. When
Yeah.
I when I think about AI agents, for some reason, and I can't get this out of my head, I get an image of a robot in a trench coat.
In a trench coat, that's scary.
Yeah,
Why
that's
don't
what I think about. But when we
define
think,
first, Martin, maybe define just in case so
yeah.
everybody knows when we talk about these agents, what they are.
So right now, when you use a tool like ChatGPT or Gemini or Copilot or Anthropic from Claude, what you're doing is you initiate the request. So you say, hey,
Right.
I need this. I want you to do this. I have a question. Maybe it's a long prompt, a structured prompt. Maybe it's shorter. Whatever it is, you initiate, it responds, and then it waits for you and you do something else. It never goes the next step and
Mhm.
says, okay, I'll go do this for you. And in fact, I mean, it's so crazy. If you think back to 2018, when Google demonstrated their duplex technology. That was
Yes.
a voice AI that was
Mhm.
able to make calls to restaurants and hair salons. So it's really narrow uses, and book appointments for clients using voice. And that essentially is what agents do. So you have a request, the agent
Mhm.
then does research and can carry it out autonomously on your behalf. So it can reason, it can plan, and it can take next steps. So an example would be you say, hey, I'm thinking of going on a trip to Europe next year. I want to see Paris and London and south of France. Can you plan an itinerary? It plans the itinerary. Then you say, okay, great, book it for me. Just use your best judgment of what you know from me. Book the itinerary. It books it. But then it goes a step further, is paying for it with your credit card. So you have to trust the
Oh,
AI.
you really have to trust.
And then it goes a step further and says, oh, and I've already made reservations for you at restaurants I know you'll like. And suddenly your whole itinerary is done. It's like a super travel agent, and
Wow.
it does it for you. Now, it'll still have some of the same issues like hallucination and,
Sure.
um, not necessarily understanding exactly what you want. But it's pretty exciting when you think about the uses for companies too, because suddenly it'll be part of your workforce, and really you'll have an AI as part of your team. It'll go out and do research. It'll go out and maybe look at web pages, fill out forms,
Can it execute a campaign? Would it be able to
potentially.
carry out a campaign
Yeah,
for a PR agency or a
yeah,
marketing agency?
yeah.
That's really
And
interesting.
And so if you think about your workflow and the AI agents that are there, and you won't be working with one agent from what I've read, you'll be working with a team of them, each specialized in certain tasks. And then there'll be what's called an orchestrator
Hmm.
agent who sits on top of them and is like the manager and
Right.
make sure that these agents are doing what they're doing, that they're getting it done properly, that they're doing it on time, that the next agent comes in and does their part. And then
And
if
this
you,
is an agent. This
yeah,
is still AI rather than the human managing those.
it's an agent system. Now you can add
Right.
humans to it. If we go not in the next 2 or 3 months, I don't think, or 6 months, but maybe if we fast forward to a year, imagine having an AI orchestrator agent as your manager,
That's
because suddenly
unbelievable.
they can keep track of a project and they know when your deliverables are. And
Right.
because they're a machine,
How do you
you
think
can
clients
never,
are going to feel if that does happen? I don't think it's going to happen next year, but whenever these
no.
agents come and if they're being used in marketing agencies and you have a manager over a campaign, do you think that's going to make clients feel that it's more productive of their time and their dollar, or do you think it's going to make them a little nervous?
I think it depends how well it works. I think if an AI agent is responsible for client relations, you may have some issues there.
I think
You may want
so.
to make sure there's a human in charge
Right.
of that relationship. But they may find things are more, and there'll be a lot of trial and error. So they may find um, it's better optimized, maybe better planning,
Right.
maybe more responsive. But then they might ask the question, okay, well, I'm paying you all this money for all these hours of working. These machines are doing it fast. We don't want to pay so much.
Exactly. Then terms are being renegotiated.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Well, that's fascinating. So when you have the instance where you've got a customer service person who's answering a call and AI is grabbing all the information around a particular customer, and that customer has an issue, and AI can tell the person speaking what to say, that does not fall under the AI agent. But if that agent was able to reason and give the discount to the customer or replenish the product that was broken that came in the mail, then that's really the agent doing it.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I think Salesforce has some customer service agents, again, early prototypes
Early,
or early versions
yeah,
of them, they're not really
infancy
prototypes,
stage.
they're out there that you can use. So you just have to make sure that you, as an organization, have the systems in place to know when to hand off to a human being.
Right.
But otherwise, a lot of times, and we saw this in social media,
Mhm.
when one person is really angry at a company because of a defect in a product, chances are a lot of other people are angry. And if you could solve that
Sure.
one person's problem publicly on social without giving away any privacy or proprietary data, fantastic. Then everyone else is helped. And
Right.
I think we may find the same thing with AI agents. People have the same problems. If an agent can work well to solve them, fantastic. I know about a year ago, I was having a chat with a telco about an issue I was having, and I was sure I was talking to a machine because the answers were just so dull and machine-like, and it's like, stick to this message, never going far. So
Right.
I actually said to this chatbot, "Hey, are you a machine? I'd like to talk to a person." And there was like beep, 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 because it didn't respond back. It's like, "No, I'm a person." I felt terrible.
Surprise.
So, hey, humans, keep your humanity, and we don't
Yes.
want the AI agents to have more humanity than us.
Right. Keep your energy up. Bring your personality, in other words. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Um,
Well,
If anyone else on there has questions or comments, please chime in the chat because we'd love to hear from you and what you're thinking about. Deirdre.
yeah, I think just something that looking at AI and all that's to come, and just what we do, the nature of our professions, and how passionate we are. Where do you think, Martin, the brain plays into all of this? And how much do you think that having AI or knowing where to access something, how much of memory recall or not using our own brains is slipping? I feel like we're not connecting and using our brains the way that we used to. What do you say
Yeah,
to that?
I think so too. And funny, it's something I've been thinking about. I may write my next newsletter on this because I've been thinking a lot about it. And especially as we, come to the end of another year. And part of me thinks AI tools are great, but part of me thinks that if we start to rely on them too much, we're outsourcing way too much of our personality, of our humanity,
Mhm.
our ability to think and remember things. And so we
Right.
may not have as many stored memories. And I don't know whether that's good, but it seems like it's potentially a really bad thing. If you think about exercise, for example, if all you do is sit 24/7,
Mhm.
you never go out for a walk, you never go to the gym, you never go swimming, you never do anything, well, your body over time will atrophy. Like it'll be
Yes,
more difficult, or you may even lose the ability to do certain things. So
and
you
that's your
need,
brain too. If
yeah,
you're not using it, those pathways, the memory pathways, you lose that.
yeah. So if you're relying on AI systems for every single idea that you
Mhm.
have to come up with. And don't kind of go, oh, what's that idea in my brain? Oh, this is really hard. I have to kind of push myself. Oh, it's not coming quickly. Maybe I need to go for a walk or do something else. If we don't have that kind of, what would I call that? It's like a system
Stimulation,
push. Yeah.
right? Brain
Yeah.
stimulation.
Yeah. If we don't have that, then we will miss something, and maybe we won't be that good at getting ideas. I know when I had my first job after graduating, I was a junior copywriter for a big agency in Toronto, and my creative director, a fantastic guy, I just want to mention him, Martin Myers. He was kind of like my mentor. He just passed away this year at
Oh,
the age of
sorry.
97.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
a
God bless.
fantastic writer, a thinker. He was writing books. Like, he just finished a book a couple weeks before he died. I mean,
Oh,
brilliant guy. Anyway, he always had ideas. And I go into a brainstorm. I was, shy, and I never had anything much to say. I'd have one idea, I'd say it, then, fine, and then we'd move on. But he'd keep throwing them out. And one day I just sat down in his office. I said, "How do you have so many ideas?" And he said something that really, it's always stuck with me. And that is, ideas are a renewable resource. The more you have, the more you get. And
Ooh, I
so
like that.
I always think, okay, I'm going into a brainstorm. I'll get ideas. And in fact, it doesn't matter if most of
Yes,
them are garbage. It's just a matter, because that could get someone else thinking.
it sparks ideas.
And
You,
if all we're doing is waiting for that spark to come from a machine, and then we go, oh, yeah, that's really good. Okay, let's do that. What
you,
are we
you
contributing?
lose. Yeah, no, I think you're losing a lot. And I do know there were studies a while ago. They're probably still doing studies where millennials, not to pick on millennials, but they're so used to being highly digitized and accessing and having quick access that you are going to lose memory, and things that maybe you did before don't come as easy. Maybe fluency, the ability to turn words or thoughts into words doesn't come as easily. And
Yeah.
there are some repercussions. So it'll be interesting to see what plays out with these studies. So I want to know, how are you going to replenish your brain for 2025? What are you going to do over the holidays?
I'm hoping to eat a lot of chocolate. That's
Yeah.
right.
I don't know if that replenishes your brain, but there's a happiness factor.
Yeah, it kind of helps a little bit,
Yes.
in terms of the
All right, I'm going to try that
satisfaction.
too. I'll try it too.
No, I want to do spend time with friends and family, of course. Kind of just not be as structured or planned. So
Yes.
start the day not going, okay, got to do this, got to do this, got to do that. Having a lot less formal organization to my day, and reading more, and
Yes.
reading, paper books, not paperbacks, although maybe some of those too,
Could be.
but books that are published on paper. I'm looking forward to that. Maybe doing a little bit of writing just for myself, or just writing down ideas, things like that. And then just seeing movies, like having kind of fun and not being as connected. Although if I know myself, I will still be a little bit, or maybe more than a
Right.
little bit,
Maybe a
connected.
little less connected. That's
Yeah.
all it takes.
How
So
about
not
you?
100% tech free.
Yeah. No, maybe 70, maybe probably closer to 60, but how about you,
Okay.
Deirdre?
I'm going to really try 80% tech free if I can. Because some of my brain games are on my phone, so I'm going to need my phone to play. But I don't know. I'm just looking forward to a little bit slower. I'm going to be up in Rhode Island and it's quiet, sitting with myself, going for walks, being with family, definitely reading. And I want a shameless plug here. My newsletter that's going to come out in December has my top 10 book picks, and they were all hard copy. Martin, I
Oh,
love
that's
to have hard copy. Well, no, maybe some of them were soft copy, but just a physical book in my hands. So definitely reading and self care, which includes meditation.
Oh, that's really good. And I guess for next year, just to kind of wrap up a little early today,
Yeah.
um, anything, what's the one thing you're most excited about? And what's the one thing you're most scared about?
Ooh, I like that.
That's for
I
work.
think for work, I think what I'm most excited about is more training, speaker coaching, presentation training. Cannot get enough of it. I love what I'm doing. And because I'm learning at the same time, I think what I'm intimidated or where I'm getting out of my comfort zone is something that I'm going to be doing around a new television show that's launching. And
That's
Martin has
exciting.
been a guest and it'll come out. And that's with a TV network in Houston. So I have details on that I'm going to launch coming soon. But that's stepping out of my comfort zone, because even though we're doing a live stream, Martin, I haven't done broadcast TV. So that's new.
That's really exciting. Well, for me, I'm most excited and most scared about AI. So kind of
Makes sense.
yeah, I'm excited about it, but I'm also concerned about what might happen. We also have a comment from Angelina, who is a student of mine in Toronto, one of the brightest students in the future of marketing class that I taught. So Angelina, welcome. Good to see you. Now, Angelina says, I think it's also worth noting the depersonalization of advertising also plays a huge role in how people view brands. This year, Spotify's Wrapped, which is this huge thing every year, absolutely, was underwhelming. Yeah, it really was a lot less than I came to expect, and felt AI generated, leading to a lot of people to express their disappointment online. People are catching up to the AI formulas and are demanding the human touch again. Hopefully next year, we'll see brands implement the human touch back in their branding. You know what? That is a great sentiment to end on. Angelina, thank you
Thank
for
you,
that.
Angelina.
I hope we do have more of the human touch too.
Yes. And looking forward to that.
So I guess that's everything for this year. We've got lots of exciting new shows planned in 2025. So stay tuned for that every month. Deirdre, have a wonderful holiday. Great seeing you. Thanks to everyone who dropped by.
Yes. And thank you. Happy holidays, Martin. And to everybody who joined us, happy holidays and happy new year. All right.
Yeah.
That's a wrap. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.